Oh boy, I got the Patrick Ta shirt going here. The Patrick Ta merch. Why? Because we have the brand new Patrick Ta Barbie collab. The Patrick Ta Barbie collab. That's me. I think it's interesting. We're going to take a look at the blush and the lip gloss, and I actually think it's quite pretty. We are also going to talk about a brand new product from Ciele. Ciele is a line that I reviewed. Oh, I did a little product spotlight on them quite a few months ago that I'll include at the end of this video. But they've introduced a new concealer. So we're going to do a whole wear test on that too. You're going to see these products today with me, Rebecca. I am a fashion and beauty editor who has worked typing things up and interviewing people for the biggest part of my career, but people don't read anymore. They just don't. So I have brought Not Fit for Print Beauty here to YouTube to have a sort of live beauty magazine that you can take a look at every day or so. All right, let's get into this and start talking about it. As I said, and I tease, I'm a kidder, I'm talking about the Patrick Ta X Barbie Blush Duo and Lip Plumper set. It is a $64 limited edition set, and boy, is it ever pink. Yeah, I am wearing it. I had to tone it down even in my demo. You guys know me. I overdo things in the demo for you to see the shade, and I even toned this down because I'm like, I can't do any more hot pink. We love Barbie. We loved the Barbie movie, which was over a year ago. We all loved it. I loved it too. We all got into pink. I don't know, did the licensing get held up? And it feels like it was in the works at Mattel to get licensed with Patrick Ta. And they went, we got great news. The license came through. And they're like, oh, it's kind of late. Oh, well. I don't know. Because the timing does seem weird. But it's cute. So here's what we have. Let me just tell you. For $64, and it is, like I said, for $64, and it is limited edition, we have a brand new Major Headlines Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shades called, or shade I should say, called She's a Barbie Doll. And it's got the little Barbie imprint there. And there's the Ta flap, which I'll explain later in the video. And we have a cream and a powder. I'll swatch this for you in just a moment. And then the very famous and well-known Patrick Ta Major Volume Plumping Gloss. This one's called Malibu Dream House. Hey, that's cute. It would have been really cute during the Barbie summer before last, but I'm just saying. Okay, so that's kind of fun. And God, was that over a summer? That wasn't even this summer. That was okay. At any rate, we're going to try that on, but we're going to also devote the wear test portion of this video to Ciele. Ciele made this just now, this Conceal Protect SPF 50 Spot Concealer for dark spots. It comes in 20 shades. And it is $36. All of their products are a mineral SPF. I got the 5 Neutral shade. All of them are a mineral SPF. This one has a natural finish. We're going to talk about where this goes on my concealer spectrum. If you don't know what my concealer spectrum is, you will find out. I will explain it to you. And of course, I have timestamps for those who know it already. So that is coming up when we do the demo, or I think probably when we do one of the check-ins, actually, if I recall. I am in the middle of the wear test right now. This is a typical doe foot concealer, easy to use. It's a nice thin consistency, but a really high coverage. Again, we'll talk about that more as we get into the demo and wear test check-ins. And I am going to combine this with the other Ciele products. Generally, my Ciele fans will use this in conjunction with the whole Ciele SPF 50 mineral sunscreen system. So I forwent in this video, the normal protocol where I just used the concealer. I actually used a little bit of the serum foundation and a little bit of the powder, a rarity for me, but I will explain my thinking to you when we get there. Let's look at some ingredients. Here are the ingredients of the Patrick Ta Barbie collection. You can take a look there. And then slow it down, enlarge it, see what you got to see. Here are the ingredients in the Ciele Conceal and Protect SPF 50 Spot Concealer. Good stuff. I did not swatch the concealer. You don't need that. You're going to see me put it on my face. But I did swatch the Patrick Ta X Barbie collab. So here it is first in studio lighting. There is the blush duo. And I did put the cream on top of the powder, just like he has it in the pan. And then next to it, of course, is that also limited edition Malibu Dream House Major Volume Plumping Gloss. And if you can't see that well, don't worry. I got you. We're going to go outside into the warm California sunshine. There is the blush duo with the cream on top, powder beneath it. And then, of course, the lip gloss. So take a look at that in the sunshine out there. Okay, we are going to try this on, and then we'll kind of go back in time and start our wear test. Make sure that you are subscribed. I really appreciate that. And well, let's go. Okay, I've made what I see as a kind of important decision about demonstrating the Ciele concealer. And here's what it is. People that are into the brand Ciele are into the brand. Okay, maybe there's people who just own the serum foundation, fair. But anybody who's buying the concealer probably is interested in the powder, the foundation, and it seems odd to me to have an SPF Mineral 50 concealer if you're just kind of dotting it under the eyes. I mean, it's nice, but it seems like it would go with the whole program, doesn't it? I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong. So I've decided we are going to put it on with the serum foundation and with the teeny little bit of the powder where I would normally put it, which I don't generally do in concealer reviews, any sort of complexion product, right? I usually just do them on their own, but I feel you'd be getting this in concert with other things. Am I right? You can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't have to be right. Okay, but anyway, this is the Ciele Conceal and Protect SPF 50 Spot Concealer. Comes in 20 shades, and I got the shade, what did I get? 5N. So let's give it a try, and we'll just put a little bit of everything else over it, just a little bit. And then we're gonna just give it a little wear test and see how it does. I just don't feel that you guys are buying this concealer as your first kind of entree into Ciele. But I don't mind if I'm corrected, if I'm wrong, you guys tell me. All right, I'm very ruddy today, as usual lately. So we're going to do one side of the face first and see. You know, it's interesting because it calls itself a dark spot corrector. But when you look further into the literature, it, you know, kind of really makes itself out to just be a concealer in general. I'm just letting it sit for a moment, just because that's a good idea with concealer, especially if you're covering blemishes, which we're not. Well, up here we kind of are. All right, so I am especially in need of concealer because of, oh, you guys know it. You'll see it on this side of my face, what I like to call the dark pits of despair. They have their own theme song, and that is that dark, ugly, sunken in area. And that's very important for me to cover up. I do have a blemish right here. How attractive. And that's important, but it's the dark pits of despair that really cause me the most despair. Okay, we're gonna, I can leave this a tad bit blotchy because we are gonna put foundation over it. Ew, that is some nice color. I'm always impressed by this brand when I try it. I don't tend to reach for them all the time. They're so specialized with their SPF 50, but that's a good thing. You know, it's mineral. Hold on a minute. I wonder. Okay. Without deep dark pits of despair. With kind of nice, very thin, easy to spread, but really full coverage. Okay, I will speed it up so you don't get too bored. What did I do with that concealer? And let's put it all over the rest of the face. Well, where I need it on the rest of the face, and then we'll look. Well, call me impressed. Super thin, super easy to work with in terms of consistency, but really full coverage. I'm delighted. Okay, so I can kind of strike that balance among those of us who'd rather not have it with something and those of us who would. Let's just put a very little bit. I've reviewed this already, so this isn't going to get a big long thing. I'll put the Ciele review, the bigger one, at the end of this so you can check it out. But just real quickly, and I am a big fan of the serum foundation. This will give me that all over SPF coverage. Now, we both know. There's only two of us here, right? We both know, and anybody else who might be watching, that I'm not getting the full 50 SPF because you have to put on, oh, so much. But I am getting a nice amount, a generous amount. I think this foundation wears really, really well. And there's a powder to it. Everything that Ciele makes is this SPF 50 mineral sunscreen. Mineral is nice. So here's the powder. And I'll just put it where I normally put powder. I'm taking out the little pad thing. And I'm just taking a Rephr number 15 and just dipping it in. Again, this has been reviewed. And I'm just going to powder it. Usually I don't do this, but I do feel that Ciele fans are going to be interested in the way the whole system works together. Or not. Tell me if I've misstepped in going away from my usual Rebecca protocol. Okay, this is generally where I use powder. Okay, sometimes on the T-zone, so we'll do that a little bit. And again, all the shades of what I'm using will be in the description bar. Where I can, I'll put it up here in YouTube Shopping, so you can check that all out and see the review, okay? The original review, I should say, of these other Ciele products. Okay, now what we're going to do is, I'm going to let this do a little bit of a wear test. I didn't use much of the serum foundation, guys, so I really try not to get it around there other than the powder. So I'll come back in a few hours for us to put on this really crazy pink Patrick Ta Barbie thing, and then we'll let it go for the rest of the wear test. So for me, it's quite a few hours. For you, it's going to be lickety. Been almost 3.5 hours actually. I got busy. Let's take a look at how we are doing. I did my brows and added in some mascara. We're about to try our new Patrick Ta little set here. But let's just take a look at how the Ciele is doing, and then I will let it go a little further as well. Really nice. Really nice. Powder is helping it hold up. I know I like the powder. I know I like the serum foundation. That was never a question. Yeah, that is a darn, as I said, I remember saying this during the demo. I'm really impressed by their products. I don't reach for them first time because they feel like when a product feels like it's sunscreen first, and I do this with Supergoop too, that sometimes I admit this and I don't even realize I'm doing it, but I kind of dismiss them a little bit. And this brand should not be dismissed. I mean, these are good products that also happen to be 50% mineral SPF. They should not be dismissed. Every time I try a product from them, I really like it. And that is a very nice concealer. I'm going to put it on the concealer spectrum. If you don't know my concealer spectrum, allow me to explain it to you. But there are timestamps down below if you've heard this too many times, but you might want to see where this one sits. I found that in order to really impress somebody with a concealer, it has to have a consistency and coverage that they're used to. Consistency is one thing, whether it feels thick or feels watery thin, or feels just kind of in the middle. And then coverage is another. Generally, thin products have thin coverage and thicker products have heavier coverage, but not always. And especially lately, we've been getting a lot of medium feel concealers that have high coverage. Well, this is an interesting one. This one is going to be all the thinnest in terms of feel. So it's going to feel a lot like the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric in terms of thinness, okay? But it's actually got some super high coverage. It's going to cover like a Pat McGrath without the thickness and the cakiness of a Pat McGrath concealer. It's going to cover like a House Labs, but House Labs is kind of medium thick feeling with a really full coverage. This is really thin feeling with a thick coverage. It's a very interesting experience, and I actually really like it. And it looks like it's not settling into lines any more than it was. It's not breaking up, and it's covering up the dark pits of despair. It's been 3.5 hours. We will let it go a little longer than this. All right, let's take a gander at the two new Barbie products from Patrick Ta. Oh, come on. Hey, that's me. Do we have to have a cricket sound effect? Okay, let's try this first. I'm more interested in this. This is that plumping, major volume plumping gloss. It does have that cloyingly sweet smell. You know this if you've tried his gloss. It's not too tingly though. It's not too bad. And that is a pretty shade. Not too pink. It's going to get a little bit darker because by nature, being a plumping gloss, plumping glosses work. by irritating your lips. And when you irritate your lips, they're going to look a little fuller and a little bit, you know, more like a berry shape because it brings the blood up to the surface. Yuck! Well, that's how it works. Okay. But that's pretty. And you saw that in the swatches. Nothing doing there. Okay, how about the blush? Now, Patrick Ta's signature way of doing his blush is kind of backwards than we would all think. He does the powder first, and then he does the cream after. But I've also seen him do it other ways. So we're going to do it one and one on each cheek and see which we like better. This here is a little plastic flap that keeps the powder and the cream separated. I like to call that the Ta flap. Why? Because it has a nice ring to it. Do others do it, including Natasha Denona? Sure. But as I always say, Denona flap doesn't sound good. Ta flap does. So this is the Ta flap. Let's leave it at that. Okay, let's go ahead and do powder first on this cheek. I have here the holiday brush from Rephr. Yes, this went on sale 2 days ago. And no, or 3 days ago. Anyway, October 1st, I don't know when I'm putting this video out. And no, I have no idea if it's sold out or not. It might be. But I promised you in the video where I talked about these that I released on October 1st that I would try this because it is a combination of Sekoho goat hair and squirrel. I told you I would try it on a more wild looking blush and I would show you the way that works. So we're going to do that here today. And yes, it applies it very nicely. Very gently for a loud color. I don't have to overemphasize that. It does it nicely on its own. For the cream, Patrick Ta generally uses a wet but wrung out sponge, and we're going to do cream over on this one and get a very loud blush. I am personally, you don't have to be, and it could be my skin tone, and yes, I am overdoing it for effect so you guys can see it, but I am personally so sick to death of these. I'm just going to take a little foundation and put it over. Of these dark pink blushes. If I never see another one again, I will be happy. Did I buy this to review? Yes. Is it working beautifully? Yes. If your skin tone enjoys this color, you will love this. Does Rebecca personally? No. Okay, on this cheek, we're going to go ahead and do the cream first. You know, I'm just done. You know, we had the Barbie summer over a year ago, and I'm just done. And this is overdone here. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and put some of the powder over it. I feel like I am over exaggerating this for you guys to see it, but I feel like this is kind of how it looks anyway. And what I have here is my brush that I use for foundation that I just can't look at myself. I know I'm just overemphasizing it, and I'm still doing that for you guys to see, but I just can't. All right, so there, it's so pink. Here is Patrick Ta's way of wearing it, the Patrick Ta version. Here is the opposite. This is doing the powder first. Or I'm sorry, the cream first. Sorry, cream first, powder second. Powder first, cream second. A little bit of a different look, isn't it? And I put on the same obnoxious amount. You know, look, I don't want to be negative. It's a very nice, cool tone shade. And for those of you who have a deep skin tone, it will be absolutely stunning. There's just no two ways around that. I'm going to take some of the powder, and I'm going to take this Rephr number 27 brush, and I'm just going to try it in the eye. And actually, I think that does kind of bring it to life. Look, I can't hate on it. I love Patrick Ta. That's pretty, isn't it? Everything's a face palette to me. You guys know me now. I just personally, on me, I just don't like those cool tones. I love the look of cool tones. They never look that great on me. So the opinion you hear being expressed right now is a selfish one, and it is purely only about me. You know, it's just not my favorite look on me. That's, you know, but that's not bad. I mean, you know, that's not bad. And we're going to see how it lasts. And it is a slightly different look on each from cheek to cheek there, actually. It's not bad. All right, let's let it go a few more hours, and then we'll do a little check-in on the concealer, which so far is doing really well. And especially now that I've taken my foundation brush with whatever little foundation, serum foundation was left on it, and just blotted over it. It's still overdone, but at least I can look in the mirror, and I'm getting a nice dewy look. I mean, I'm trying to complain, but I really ought not to have any complaints. This isn't bad at all. All right, let's give it quite a few more hours and come back and check in. And that will be our final check on the wear test. Stay right there. Okay, it has been 3 more hours, so that makes this wear test a little bit short. It's about 6.5, but it's going to have to do today. I just put on a little bit more of this lip plumper here from Patrick Ta, like literally 2 seconds ago. So that's why that looks so fresh. It's not like it's truly lasted. Okay, let's take a look here. Now, I am going a little bit shiny on the cheeks. That is the Patrick Ta cream product, and I think it's actually very pretty. Remember, I used none of the Ciele powder on my cheeks. You could. I don't mind that look. I actually think it's very fresh and nice. And I actually don't mind this look, especially because I overdid it, but not to the extent that I usually do for you to see the color. I can't do it anymore with the pinks, guys. And now that I put it on the eye and kind of brought it all together, I actually think it's fresh and pretty. It's very feminine and very nice, and I like it. I do. And I mean, if you have the skin tone that will work with this deep, dark, cool shade, you really will be in heaven. But it is limited edition, so you kind of have to grab it quickly. I think the lip plumper could be a bit more pigmented. I mean, if you like his lip plumper, this is almost clear. Pink side of clear, good to throw in your bag. I mean, you know, you're not wasting it that you get it with the blush. And, you know, it's nice to support Mattel. They seem to be good people. So, you know, I'm all for that. All right, let's talk about the Ciele product, and let's take a look at how it's doing after all about 6.5 hours. Looking good. Looking good. Wow. Yeah, everything still seems to be covered. I don't think it would go, it looks like it wants to break down a little bit in terms of coverage. I don't think it would go that well for 8 hours. I mean, but this is pretty good coverage. I'm trying to split hairs because I want to be able to say to you, buy this one, not that. But really, wow, makeup formulas are getting so good. That is getting harder and harder to say in reviews. Let me tell you, I have done beauty reviews forever. I mean, forever. I need a good expression for since the days of the dinosaurs, since the days the T-Rexes started, you know, puckering up and putting on lipstick, I've been doing these reviews. And it used to be that there was a lot of bad, some mediocre, and some very good. These days, very good, I mean, from drugstore to high-end and luxury is the dominant adjective to use, really. So I am not disliking this. I mean, I think I have others that have maybe lasted a little bit longer. This is a great product. It's got a 50 SPF. It works well with the rest of the Ciele system. And I just think if you are interested in a 50 SPF mineral sunscreen, and you're out in the light a lot and you're outside a lot, you're driving a lot, that kind of thing, these are really reliable, beautiful products. I'm glad they've added a concealer. I don't think it's a quick addition. I think it's a nice addition, and it's well thought out, and I think it's beautiful, and I love the Ciele powder, and I love the serum. I'm going to link that video after this one so you can check it out if you didn't see my review of the rest of it. But yeah, really pretty and really fun. I want to like rag on the whole Patrick Ta thing and say it's a year late and all that, but it's kind of cute, especially if that's your color. You know, would I buy it for review? I absolutely did. Would I have bought it for Rebecca if I didn't do these reviews? But no. But it's pretty. I'll use it now that I have it. You know. All right, let me know what you think. It's not just all about what I yap about. I want to know everything. Everything will be down below for you to peruse or purchase. And where I can, I'll put it up here in YouTube Shopping on the screen where I can, so you can check that out. Look down below for information on our Facebook group. Thank you to Helen, who's running that, and for information on our membership right here on YouTube. I lead lives every week, and we have a lot of fun. So look for that, as well as ways to give super thanks, which I always appreciate, and how to find me on TikTok and Instagram, Threads, you know, the good stuff. Make sure you are subscribed. That's the nicest thing you can do for me, and I look forward to seeing all of you in an upcoming video. Lots of new stuff coming your way.